Friends with us today is Swamini Supriyananda. She is from Hong Kong, Chinmaya Mission. Amma is born in South Africa, but she got upbringing in Australia, and now she is in charge of Hong Kong Chinmaya Mission. And she has a training in psychology. So, what made you to come back to the Indian knowledge system?
So I started my psychology degree, and around the same time I had started studying the Bhagavad Gita from one of Gurudev's disciples only. So it was going on parallel. And whenever I had to work with clients, I realized that the knowledge that I was drawing on to be able to help other people wasn't what I was learning in the university, but it was rather this knowledge that I was getting from the Bhagavad Gita. This was about 25 years ago. Since then, of course, psychology has also progressed and they have also evolved. But no matter how much they evolved, their understanding of the complexity of the mind is still limited because they're so determined to be scientific about it. And so many things can't be measured. So many things we have to just introspect and understand. And when we can see things clearly within our own minds, then it's easier to empathize with how these same thought processes go on in pretty much everyone's mind. And so the Gita helped me understand myself better, and therefore I was able to help other people better. And I'm not saying psychology didn't help at all, but just the proportion to which Gita helped was so much more significant than what I did in
Amma,
psychology.
your upbringing is in the Western culture.
Yes.
And there is a hardly not that much what I will say things which are stimuli for the Indian knowledge system. So how you got connection with the Gita? I hope it, like we those who are born in India, for us we see everyday life. For us it's a day to day life things, and connection for us is easier.
Yeah.
For you people, those who have upbringing in Australia, where the lifestyle is totally different, there how you got rooted with this knowledge, that's the one thing. I know you will say one is a prarabdha. Everyone say prarabdha.
No, I wouldn't
But what
say
is
prarabdha. Actually, it was Guru's grace. Guru came to Melbourne where I was living, and because Guru came to Melbourne and I was able to hear from a living master who was walking on this path itself, it was so inspiring to one, hear this, and two, to see somebody try and live it. Also, there's that Hindi saying, and please forgive my Hindi, but "Kar ka murgi,"
dal barabar.
then we take it for granted sometimes. Sometimes we have something so precious and so valuable, but because it's just there, we don't realize. Maybe because I was abroad, I saw just how valuable this was. And at that time, it was before smartphones. And so it was difficult to be able to get the books, difficult to be able to listen to somebody. And so when you have to put in effort to get something, you value it even more.
Amma, you have done lot of work on the children's books, and you have, I will say, revolutionized. I have seen your lot of book of Chinmaya Mission on the children's for the Krishna, Ganeshas, and all this thing. So, what made you to bring these books? What was in your mind? Who were the
So the
kids?
Chinmaya Mission had some books. We have the Tarangani series. We've now redone the Tarangani series, but at that point in time, they were black and white papers and pictures. And one of the parents had come to the ashram to buy something for their child, and this was a book that was available. At that point, when I said these stories are there, the first page was that Ganesha head being cut off, and she immediately said, "No, I don't want any of these books. My kid won't look at them, and these stories are all very violent." And my heart a little bit broke, because actually the stories have such beautiful messages in them. And she was looking at the packaging, and two, she had already made up her mind about what she thought was good and not good, not without knowing the full picture. And so first I started saying, but you can tell the story in the way where the message is given, and you can emphasize on the message rather than maybe the violence or maybe bits that you don't understand. But she was not interested. Parents can be so busy with whatever they are doing, so sometimes they also want to make their life a bit simple. And then that night itself, it kept playing in my head that, if the parent doesn't tell the story, the child won't know it. And some parents won't know how to tell the story. But Guru's grace, Bhagwan's grace, I can tell the story. And so if I write the book, then all the parent has to do is read the book. And the story will still reach the children. And so that was my inspiration.
Thank you, Amma, for talking with us. This is Madhvi Shri for the World of Positive News from Chinmaya Vibhuti, Pune.